Now while our fries are cooking, as I told you, we're going to toast our bread. What I have here is some butter melted in my bowl, and I added a little bit of garlic salt to my butter, and I'm going to take my pastry brush and I'm just going to butter my bun with my pastry brush. I have my pan heating over there, and all I'm going to do is take my bread and put my bread right on my pan. Hey guys, this is Curlinda with Curlinda Can Cook, and today we're going to be making Philly cheesesteak and homemade french fries. So let's get ready, let's get set, let's get cooking. Now the first thing that we're going to do is to get prepared to make our Philly cheesesteak is we are going to slice up our onions. Now for this I am using purple onions. You want to kind of slice your onions kind of thin, so that they can have a really nice doneness once you add them to your peppers to saute them down in your dish. So we got our purple onions going here. Now you can also use yellow onion. You can use white onion, Vidalia onion, whatever kind of onion you want to use. We're going to add a little bit of red bell pepper into ours for a little contrast in the color. Y'all know me, I like colorful food, so we are going to have our little bit of red pepper in here. Now, if you don't have red pepper and you only have green pepper, go right ahead and use your green pepper, honey. No fuss, no muss. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just go right ahead and use it. As you can see, I sliced my peppers down kind of thin. I'm going to go ahead and put them on my plate. And then we're going to also slice down our green bell pepper. Now, when I make my Philly cheesesteak, I actually like to add lettuce and tomato on it. So I'm going to be adding a little lettuce and tomato to mine. The type of steak that we're going to be using is the eye round steak. And that's I-E-Y-E. Eye round. And I have it sliced really thin. And I'm going to take those thin slices and slice them into strips. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, one thing I want to tell you about a Philly steak and cheese. You don't want to get cheap products for your Philly steak Philly steak and cheese. If you get cheap products like a really dinky cheap bread, your Philly steak and cheese is not going to taste right. Outside of your meat, your bread is one of the main ingredients in your Philly steak and cheese. So you make sure you get you a nice fresh bread, not a hard bread, okay? Now when you get all your vegetables cut up, you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and clean off our cutting board, and we're going to go ahead and cut up our potatoes for our homemade french fries. So let's clean this up and get to cutting. Alright, so to prepare our potatoes for our french fries, what we're going to do is go ahead and cut our potato. If you have a potato peeler, go right ahead and peel it. If you watch my previous videos, you probably heard me say, me and a potato peeler, they're not my friend, y'all. I grew up peeling my potatoes with a knife, and I'm also a lefty. So, yeah, me and a potato peeler, we just don't get along. I peel my potatoes a lot faster peeling them with a knife. Okay, so If you have a potato pillow and that's your potato peeler and that's your friend, go right ahead and use it, honey. Because me, this is my potato peeler right here. Hey, Jen Jen. And what we're going to do is peel our potatoes really good. And we're going to slice them down so that we can make French fries. The type of potatoes I'm using here is Idaho russet potatoes. If you like red potatoes, you can use red potatoes, whatever potato you want. Or you can just go and buy you a bag of French fries out of the grocery store. Me personally, I don't like store-bought French fries because a lot of times those French fries, they're like little skimpy piece of French fries. And my thing is, if you're going to give me a French fry, give me a whole French fry. Don't give me a half of a French fry and call it a French fry. I want the whole French fry. So I choose to make my own. Also, I get to season my fries the way that I want them seasoned, if I want seasoned fries. Or I can make steak potatoes. I can make crinkle cut. However I want them done, I can do it. I also have a mandolin slicer that I can slice my potatoes on as well and make French fries with that. So if you have one of those and you want to make your French fries, then go ahead and peel your potatoes and slice your potatoes on that. Totally your call. But me, I'm old-fashioned, y'all. I just choose to do it the old-fashioned way. Y'all see how fast I can get these potatoes cut up by hand. If you have not already done so, go right on ahead. Click that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on your notifications to all so that you can be notified of all the videos I post when we are making our delicious dishes. Because y'all know, honey, when you are cooking with Curlinda, you're going to be making you some delicious dishes, baby. Bottom line, point blank, and the period. Okay? And you will know how to cook it and not burn it. All right? So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also find me on Facebook at Curlinda Can Cook. You can find me on Instagram at Curlinda Can Cook. You can even find me on Snapchat at Curlinda Can Cook. So follow me on social media. If you decide to try one of my dishes, be sure to take a picture, upload it, tag us in it, hashtag Curlinda Can Cook on it, so that I'll be able to see it and I'll be able to give you a shout out on your dish. Make sure you let me know what you think about it and how you like it. Alright, so we have those potatoes cut up at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to just cut up a few more just to make sure that I have enough French fries for my family. Because my husband, he's a French fry man. He loves French fries. I love French fries too, but I'm picky when it comes to French fries. Alright, so we're going to get this right on down. And you notice when I'm cutting these potatoes, I'm not even cutting a whole lot of meat off of the potatoes. My grandma taught me how to cut up white potatoes. I always used to cut up her white potatoes for her potato salad. Because grandma was OCD about her potato salad. And she taught me how to peel them potatoes. And she taught me how to cut them potatoes up for that potato salad. One of these Sundays, I'm going to make some potato salad, y'all. But I used to peel them potatoes, and she always called them iced potatoes. Where y'all from? You know, have you ever heard of iced potatoes before? That's what Grandma used to call potatoes, iced potatoes. Now I'm going ahead and taking my potatoes and putting them in this water. I have a little bit of salt in the water, but I'm putting my potatoes in this water because I don't want them to oxidize on me and turn brown because the starch coming up. Now if you see here, This is about a good thickness for a french fry. So all I'm going to do is, as I took my potato and sliced it, I'm going to go ahead and slice it now vertically. So I have french fries. These are nice, not too thick, not too thin french fries. Made my way. And I'm going to give them a nice good season. With some seasoned salt, y'all. And a couple more little seasonings. And there we're going to have us some seasoned, homemade seasoned french fries. Right along with our Philly steak and cheese. If you leave a little bit of peel on it, that's okay. Just give you a little texture in your french fry, that's all. And it signifies that your fries is homemade and not manufactured. Okay? Another thing about making homemade french fries, again, see how thick this is? You're going to have your nice bite of french fry. Another thing about making homemade french fries is the fact that when you make your french fries homemade, again, there's no additives, no preservatives. You know what's in it. You know, if you put some seasoning on it, you know what you put on it. God, sometimes we get so laxy-daisy in getting all this manufactured food and stuff, but we really don't know what we're putting in our bodies anymore because this stuff is being made so fast to get out and get produced so fast that, you know, we just don't know what we eating no more. It's not like it was back in the day where, you know, it took a little minute for them to grow your food and stuff. Now this stuff is so genetically modified, you don't know what you're getting in a bag of french fries. You don't even know if that's all potato, you know. So, that being said, you see on my channel, I do make a lot of my stuff from scratch. If you want to take a shortcut and get your stuff pre-made in the store, hey, go right ahead and do so. I'm not knocking you at all. And as always, thank you so much for allowing me to share the dishes that I prepare for me and my family with you and your family. I hope there's something that you find on my page that can be beneficial to you and your family. You bring it into your home. And then, you know, it gives you something that thinks outside the box, another food idea, and something that hopefully you and your family will love. Be sure that if you try something over here, just give us a shout out. Let us know how we doing. If there's something you want to see me cook on my channel, go right ahead. Let me know, and I will work to get it done for you. I do food requests, so I love to bake, y'all. So soon you're gonna see me putting some of my baking stuff up on my channel, and I bake from scratch. So if you're ready for that, then hey, it's gonna be fun times over here because I love to bake from scratch. My cakes, my pies, my cupcakes, all of that good stuff. Birthday cakes, wedding cakes, all of that. I love to do that. So I can do more than just cook soul food, y'all. Or breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm a baker too. So y'all see from these little potatoes how many french fries we getting, right? Now I got a whole bag of potatoes over here. I bought a whole 5-pound bag of potatoes for less than $3. And I'm making french fries, and I'll be able to have some potatoes left to mix too. When I was looking at the french fries in the store, and most of the french fries in the bag was about $3.50. But then you don't even know how much potatoes you're getting in there. And like I say, for me, I get to make my potatoes the length that I want to make my potatoes. So, hey, it is what it is. Y'all call me picky about a french fry. It's okay. I tell you what, I know what I got, and I know what's in it. How about that? If you like homemade french fries, let me know. Tell me what you think if you try to make your own homemade french fries. Some people probably never even thought that they could make their own homemade french fries. So, let me know. Well, it seems like we have one more potato. I'm going to go ahead and just take this one since it's small and slice it in half. And then we have our little short potatoes here. And what I'm going to do, once I'm done cutting this potato, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, we had one big potato. But what I'm going to do when I'm done cutting my potatoes up, y'all, is I'm going to go ahead and rinse my potatoes and season them. So if y'all notice, I cut all of my potatoes pretty much the same thickness. How thin or how thick you want your potatoes is totally up to you. You know, if you want to cut your potatoes thick like steak potatoes, you can do that. It's your potato. Eat it how you want to eat it. If you want to make potato wedges, you can do that too. Another great thing about cutting up your own potatoes is that you can actually make yourself hash browns and stuff like that with your potatoes. So see here, y'all, just want y'all to see my potatoes. See that water is cloudy? That's because that's the starch coming up out of the potatoes. If I would have left these potatoes out and did not put them in water, they would have started oxidizing. And this starch that you see in this pot, it would have started turning my potatoes brown. So that's just a little FYI for y'all. When you're cutting up your potatoes, take your potatoes and put your potatoes in some water. And if you could see these potatoes in my hand, most of my potatoes are pretty much the same thickness and the same width. And it was all hand done. See that? And this is what you get when you make your homemade French fries. So all we're going to do now is just take this, like I said, we're going to pour this water off. And we are going to rinse these off really good so that we can season them and get them ready to be fried, okay? So now that we have washed and drained our French fries, I want you all to see them. Aren't they nice? Aren't they pretty, y'all? We did some hand French fries today. Look at it. See there, you get the length you want on your French fries. You actually get a French fry and not little niblets and pieces of French fries. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to season our fries. So we're going to put our fries right over in our pot that we had them in earlier. And then we are going to season them. If you ever had fries from like Checkers or Rally's or something like that in your area, this what you get. Seasoned fries. That's all they're doing is selling you fries that somebody has seasoned, made their own recipe for. So what I just did was I added some salt in there. We're going to add a little bit of Creole seasoning. We're going to add us a good amount of paprika. We're going to add us some seasonal seasoning salt. Some Everglades seasoning. We also have some garlic powder that we're adding on here. Some onion powder that we're adding on here. And we're going to finish it off as far as our seasoning with some black pepper. And then what we're going to do to make sure that all of our seasonings adhere is we're going to add just a smidgen of olive oil on our potatoes so that once we stir it and mix it all up, all the seasonings stick to our potatoes. Okay? And as you see here, the more we toss these around in this seasoning, the seasoning is getting on all of your potatoes. And there you go, honey. You have seasoned French fries, okay? Voila. Who knew life was so simple with the French fries? Okay? Now what we're going to do is take our French fries and set them aside and let them marinate a little bit while we get ready to slice down our meat for our Philly cheesesteak. Now that we have our potatoes all together, we're going to take our steak. And like I said, I'm using eye of round, thinly sliced steak. And what I'm going to do is just take my steak and slice it into strips, like so. Now, I'm not a chef. I don't profess to be a chef. This is how I cook my food at home. So if you tell me you're not cutting that meat to the grain, it is quite okay. This is my meat in my kitchen, and this is how I'm going to eat it. How about that? Thank you. So, with that being said, y'all, what we are doing is we are slicing our steak into strips so that when we make our Philly steak and cheese and we fry it down, it will be easier to cook. Okay, so we're just going to slice that up really good like so. Put it over in our bowl. And once we finish getting all our meat sliced up, we're going to season it down really good. That's my Grayson. He's saying hi, everybody. I'm going to let y'all meet Grayson one day. We call him Wapo because he's so cute and handsome. His teacher named him that, and she's Spanish. And it was just one of them names that just stuck. So we now call him Wapo at home. Alright, so now we got our meat almost all the way cut up. Right? And what we're going to do is we're going to give it a good rinse off. Yeah, I rinse all my meat and stuff when I get it out the store. I know, you know, they're like, oh, it's already clean. But, y'all, we don't know what be going on behind the scenes. So, you know, I just go ahead and make sure that I wash mine and get myself right. So, we're going to wash this down real good. And we are going to season it so that we can start frying, y'all. Alright, so our meat is all washed and drained. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to throw a little bit of salt on it. Not a whole lot because you don't want the salt to drain out of your meat while you're cooking. You don't want your meat to be tough. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of salt on it. We're going to season it with a little bit of paprika. And we're also going to put a little bit of Mrs. Dash on our meat, okay? And we're just going to toss this a little bit like so. And then we are ready to cook this meat. So let me get my hand wash and everything, and I will meet you over at the stove. Now that we have everything all prepped to cook, we have a couple things going on at the same time. This is a pot of oil that I have sitting that I am going to repurpose and reuse my oil. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know I told you that I don't throw away my oil after I finish cooking with it because I actually have seasoned oil. So what I'm going to do is put this oil for my French fries. I am going to use some new vegetable oil. So I'm going to put some of that in the pot. But then I'm also going to mix another half of that with my used oil so that my French fries come out a nice, pretty golden brown. Because if you, this is a tip for our new people who are new to cooking. When you have all clean oil, like this, when you have all clean oil, it takes your food a little longer to brown. But when you have oil that you've already used and it already has a tint to it like this, then it doesn't take your food as long to get brown. And with our French fries, we want them nice and brown and crispy, but we don't want to overcook them to where they are, I call them dead in the middle. But we don't want to overcook them to where the meat is, crunchy in the middle. You want nice, fluffy French fries, especially if you're making them homemade yourself. Go ahead and wipe this oil off of my pan here. And now that I've started using this towel, I'll go ahead and keep using it while I'm cooking. So with the pan, the reason why you saw me pour that oil out of the pan, because you want your pan nice and coated, but you don't want so much excess oil in it that your finished sandwich is greasy. You want it juicy but not greasy, okay? And when we cook this steak, we're going to let it sear kind of slow. Whenever you're making your steak for your Philly steak and cheese, guys, you don't want to cook it too fast You want to cook it kind of slow so that you can pull up the natural juices out of it. And actually, you don't even have to season it ahead of time either. You can put your salt on it when it's about done. That way, you won't dry it out and make it tough. Because I'm used to doing this, I know how much salt to put on it to make it where I've seasoned it ahead of time. But if you're new and you just want to give it a try, you know, you can salt at the end. So what I'm going to do is just put my meat over in here, y'all, and let it start slowly frying off so that it can get done. And I'm cooking all of my steak at one time. And then what I'm going to do, we have our oil heating up for our french fries. In another pot, I'm going to go ahead and put in my onions and my bell peppers so I can go ahead and start getting them done as well. And then in the end, we'll tie together our bell peppers, our onions, and our meat. And also our cheese that we're going to put on our Philly's cheesesteak. Also with your Philly cheesesteak, if you want to add mushrooms, you can add mushrooms, jalapenos. We are going to put some jalapenos on here, y'all. So, but if you want some mushrooms, some jalapenos, and, you know, dress it up, it's your sandwich. Do what you want to do with it. As well as I'm going to show you how to toast your bread. So we're going to have a lot of moving elements to our sandwich, but it's going to be delicious. Why? Because when you're cooking with Curlinda, you make delicious dishes, okay? So just remember that. So go ahead, get everything that you need, honey. Sit back, relax, let your meat cook, and we'll be back in a minute. Now that we have our meat cooking kind of slow, we're going to go ahead and throw our peppers and our onions in our pot so that they can start to saute down. Our oil is still heating for our fries. And if you can see how the natural juice is coming up out of the meat, it's cooking up slow. And then all we have to do is just keep that stirred, okay? And when you stir it, you're just going to keep pulling up the natural juice out of the meat. Again, you want to cook it kind of slow because you don't want it to be tough when it's done, okay? Remember that. The faster you cook it, you are going to make the faster you cook your meat, the faster you are going to, like, just get everything all incorporated, but you're going to be making it tough at the same time. So let it take its time, honey. Let everything marry all together because you want to bite in this sandwich and make it be scrumptious, okay? But, honey, Curlinda is going to help you make you some delicious dishes if you just let it cook slow. Let it cook slow, okay? And you'll see how your meat going to come together. It's going to be nice and soft and texturized for you. Now, while our fries are cooking, as I told you, we're going to toast our bread. What I have here is some butter melted in my bowl. And I added a little bit of garlic salt to my butter. And I'm going to take my pastry brush. And I'm just going to butter my bun with my pastry brush. I have my pan heating over there. And all I'm going to do is take my bread and put my bread right on my pan. Now we're going to take our bread and put it on our pan that we've been heating like so. And we are going to let that cook. Or let it toast, I should say. Now you can see our fries are getting done because they're starting to float to the top of our oil. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get our container to be able to put these in, a bowl or a plate or whatever you have, to be, or a strainer to be able to strain the grease off. You want to go ahead and put them in there. That way you can sprinkle them with a little bit of salt or whatever you want to do, and your fries are done. Once you take these out, we're going to go ahead and put in our second batch. Okay? And we're going to keep watching this bun right here so it can get nice and toasty for us and warm. And this is what we're going to serve our sandwich on. So once this get done, I'm going to show you how I prepare my sandwich. So our fries are almost done. Now what we've done is we've portioned off enough for our sub size. We've taken that and put it in this pan. And what we're going to do is we are going to add a nice good helping of cheese right on the top of it. Like so. And we are also going to add us a few jalapenos, which I did not bring my spoon. These are my jalapenos in my jar, so I can stick my hand in it. Alright, so we're going to let our cheese melt some. But what you're going to see me do here, okay, is I'm actually going to take, oh, and this is on a medium heat, by the way. I'm going to take my meat and I'm going to flip it like so with my cheese. So all of that can come together in a bunch of ooey gooeyness. And while that's doing this thing, I'm going to go ahead and put my mayo on my toast. And again, this is my sandwich. I like mayo on it. If you don't like mayo on your Philly steak and cheese, don't put it on there. I'm going to put my tomatoes on here. Onto the one side. Flip that over again like so with my cheese. And you see how this cheese is making it make more juice? That's what you want, okay? That's exactly what you want. Now I have my tomatoes. I want to go ahead and add me some lettuce. Like so. Because it is time to take this off, honey. And just like that, we're going to take our meat, our cheese, our peppers. We're going to lay them right on the other side of our sandwich like so. Y'all see that? That is yum yum good right there. I'm going to close it all up. There you go. We're going to take it and cut it in half. And once we get it cut in half, we're going to put it on our plate. Now at this point, if you want, you can sprinkle you a little bit of salt and pepper on here if you want. But I promise you, it's seasoned up really good. But season it to your liking, okay? If you want some salt and pepper on there, put you some salt and pepper on there. So let me get this on the plate, and I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, so we got our sandwich all plated up, and here's what we have. Our very own Philly steak and cheese with lettuce and tomatoes and mayo. If you decide to try this dish, I hope that you let us know. Go ahead and give us a shout out on our Facebook at Curlinda Can Cook, on Instagram at Curlinda Can Cook, and don't forget to leave your comments here. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and put your notifications on all so that you can get all the videos that I post of the dishes that I make. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy. And don't forget, make sure that you stay blessed so that you can be a blessing. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.